A beautiful day everyone, welcome to this brand new video here on my channel. My name is 𝗙𝗓𝗏𝗪𝗏. I'm a 22-year-old DJ and music producer, and I love to make music. Whether it is cinematic, electronic, or just some collaborations with some artists in general. In this video we're talking about the fundamental things you should take into consideration when you want to start as a DJ. So I have 5 tips for you today, and let's get right into tip number 1. Alright guys, tip number 1 is actually very easy, and first of all the question is, should I get the best gear? There is a very easy answer, and it is no. Definitely not, because when you want to start DJing and when you want to start out as a DJ and when you really want to just try and test the craft, let's say it like that, then the most important thing is that you should not get the best gear. And by the way guys, I also don't have the best gear. Look at my stuff. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that is actually what I have. A Numark Mix Track Pro 2. It is a very easy DJ controller, a very simple one. It is a 2-track DJ controller, as you can see, with some faders, some knobs, some effects, etc. like everything what a standard DJ controller has. It is around, I think, $200 or even less, and I bought it like 3 years ago. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but I like it, and I really hope that I could get another one, I could afford another one, because obviously it's because of the money. I would rather go for a bigger one right now because of the experience I have. But if you want to start out as a DJ, this is definitely one of the things you should take into consideration, because it's a simple 2-track DJ controller, has everything. It has the loops, the faders, the knobs, it has the wonderful effects panel, it has the samples, it has the cues, the loop, everything which you should need as a DJ. Alright, I guess we will get right into the next tip, which is tip number 2. Alright, tip number 2 is very easy, and that is know your songs. Why do I say that? It is very important that you should know your songs as a DJ, because if you don't know your songs, it is very hard to mix them properly. I mean, if you are experienced as a DJ and you know like basic music stuff, you know, like BPMs, etc., genres, then it's easier for you to also to fade in some tracks you don't even know. But it is very important that you know all of your tracks, because if you want to set cue points, etc., you also should know where they are. And if you want to prepare your DJ set, it is very good, and it makes things in DJ sets very easy and very smooth, and the audience will even love it, even more. So those are things you should really take into consideration when starting out as a DJ. Know your tracks, prepare your DJ sets, and then everything will be fine. Alright, let's go to tip number 3. Alright guys, tip number 3 is actually kinda redundant, but it says it is what it is. Know your audience. It is very important that you know your audience, and you should not play techno in a hip-hop club or hip-hop in a techno club, which is obviously very funny, but some people just don't know their audience, and if you don't know the audience and you play the wrong songs, they don't vibe with it. It is just what it is, because let's say you are in a party, or let's say in a wedding, where people, where the average age is around 50 or 40, and obviously they don't want to hear Baby Shark, they don't want to hear the newest TikTok songs, they don't want to hear any rap or something, you know. Normally they are more into the 90s, 80s vibes. I mean, I'm just generalizing here right now, but it's just for the example. Mostly they're just 80s or 90s vibes, and those are things you should take into consideration when DJing, and I guess those are very important things, you know, because if you play a track and you see your audience is not vibing with it, you should not fade in the next track which has the exact same vibe or same genre. You should really try and change it as quick as possible, because you don't want an audience which is bored as F. And I guess when you want to get clients, you really should know what genre they like, and also ask them, okay, what's the best song, what is the best genre which is played here, what do they like the most, and then you can prepare your DJ set for that, you know. That's just what it is, and that's very important. Alright guys, that was tip number 3 for me. Let's head to the next one. Alright ladies and gentlemen, tip number 4 is very important. It is experiment. What do I mean by experiment? It is very easy said, but you have to explain it obviously. So imagine you're trying to start and practice a craft, or you want to try something new. then obviously you need to experiment. For example, if you want to throw a basketball into a basket, you know, you really need to know how to throw it in, and you can experiment. Okay, maybe I should hold it like this, maybe I should hold it like this, maybe I should hold it like this. Obviously that's the joke, but you know what I mean? Experiment and try out new things, or maybe try out things people actually didn't even do. I mean, we are in 2021, the humankind has been here for a long time. DJing is not something which has been invented last year. So maybe there are things which have not been done yet. So you can maybe try and make something new, something own, something unique. That's why I said experiment with it, and then people maybe like you, maybe be like, oh, this is such a unique style from DJ XYZ, and he's doing it always like this, and people are like, okay, maybe that's very cool, you know? So I guess those are things which are very important, you know? And we have to really check. You really have to figure out your own style, you know? I will go into that a bit deeper in another video, obviously. So I hope you know what I mean. So experiment, whatever you're trying to do. Obviously, don't experiment when doing live DJ sets. Just do what you know, because experimenting is not the best idea if you do it in front of people, because there will be like, okay, that's unprofessional, or he doesn't know what he's doing, etc. All right, I guess I hope that helped you. So let's go to the last tip, and tip number 5. Alright guys, tip number 5 is also very important. It is about the dynamic of your DJ set. Never, ever, 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 ever stay at the same BPM for more than half an hour. Why do I say that? I mean, maybe it's my preference, but I would say don't stay at the same BPM for too long, because you have to imagine, people or humans are animals which adapt pretty fast. And that means if you are in 128 BPM for, let's say, half an hour, they do like this, and that for a half an hour, I guess that's the best idea, you know? You have it always like this for like half an hour, and soon the people get bored. They're like, okay, let's get a drink, let's go to the bar, and blah blah blah, let's leave, it's boring. So the most important thing about a DJ set as well is that you have different BPMs, different vibes, and that you can literally try and catch the audience in the exact moment. That's why you never ever also just look at your DJ controller. Also look at the crowd and look what they're doing. Are they bored? Do they dance? Are they hitting each other? Okay, no, that's not your problem, that's a problem of the security, but you know what I mean. So also check your audience. That's what I said, know your audience as well. You also have to check them, you have to look at them, you know. And the most important thing is don't stay at the same BPM at the same time. For example, me, I have a range between, let's say, 80 to 140 BPM, because I like to transition very fast. I like to transition in a special manner, you know, because for example, you have maybe people dancing, and then you get fast and fast and fast, and then they're escalating even more, you know. I'm doing virtual DJ sessions because it's very different. When you're in the club, you cannot go on 160 BPM because people would be like, what the fuck's going on here, you know. It depends in which club you are, so those are things you really should be careful about. So never ever stay at the same BPM. Alright guys, that was 5 tips how to start as a DJ. I hope you liked it, and if you liked it, if it was very helpful to you, would be nice that you will leave a like, a message, and subscribe to my channel. And obviously share this video with all your friends, all your family, or maybe your dog, maybe your cat. Maybe they need even more than you do. You don't even know. Maybe your cat is an alien coming from another civilization and is actually an alien DJ. You don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, that was all for me, and next week we are gonna talk about another topic. And I hope you will stay tuned. So have a nice day, and goodbye.